Coming up on Talk is Cheap, we're going to take a look at the Baltic Sea Anomaly. Is this the Millennium Falcon at the bottom of the sea? Let's find out on Talk is Cheap. Welcome to Talk is Cheap, where cheap is talk and talk is cheap, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Hofeld here in the house once again for another great episode of Talk is Cheap. And to my left is Suck'em and Duck'em Pete Hulbleib.
Well, I got the sucking them part down. Now I just got to duck them. How's it going, Dano?
You duck a lot on the camera, so I figured it was appropriate.
There you go.
I think that sounds pretty good.
Dan hates it. I'm a pretty animated guy if you've ever met me in person. And, you know, chaining me to a chair like this, I'm always fidgeting and moving around. Dan, it drives him nuts. But,
oh, yes.
You know, that's what makes this so good. I'm the yin to your yang, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Then there's something wrong with you. You're certainly not very good.
I'm not going to comment to that.
No comment.
No comment.
All right.
I'm not disagreeing either. So
can neither confirm or deny.
Yeah, I will neither confirm nor deny the accuracy of that statement.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're listening to us today. Remember, we're on BitChute, DTube, podcast listeners. Special shout out to you guys. I'm so glad the numbers have gone up. That over there is going to be like the special super duper platform, because if anything goes down, that keeps going. Like no censorship over there, and that's what I love. We might go into a direction later on, but that is definitely where you want to go and subscribe so you do not miss anything. I would love to be able to say anything and everything that I'm thinking without the filter that has to be on here for YouTube, and that would be great.
Yeah, you know, and it's getting to the point, Dano, where it's like no matter what we do, YouTube is just, they have just got a hard on for us right now, and they're just doing everything they can to stifle us and keep us down. And you know, I don't even think that we talk about that much controversial stuff. I mean, yeah, some of the stuff is hard to swallow. It is a little out there, but it's like, who in the heck are we hurting? We're talking about stuff that may or may not be true, and looking at alternative viewpoints and stuff. You know,
they don't want that.
No,
of course.
Gosh, no. No, because we got to keep working and paying our taxes.
And of course, the voicemail as well, folks. If you want to call into the show, please do so. That's 1-256-510-5234. 1-256-510-KTD4. I haven't said that enough.
Yeah.
Jesus.
256-510-K2D4. Call it. Leave a message. Tell Dan how handsome he looks, man. He likes to hear that.
Definitely. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, you got two buttons pushed on that one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start with today's show. This topic was submitted by none other than Athena T-Lane. Thank you very much for the topic. This is going to be the Baltic Sea Anomaly. Ladies and gentlemen, this topic has actually been on the request line for a little while. Figured I'm going to tackle it here. Very interesting stuff here. So it goes back here, June 19th, 2011. There is a team called Ocean X consisting of Peter Lindenberg and Dennis Asperg. They consider themselves professional treasure hunters.
Oh, wouldn't that be a cool job?
That would be a great job.
Yeah. You know, you hit one and you're going to be set for life. People will hire you to look for treasure if you can find that one.
And think of
box of Dublins.
How many disappointments you have to go through, but if you do find that one,
it might not work 99 times out of 100, but that one time it works. Woo-wee. It's worth it.
So they were trolling and observing sonar images in the Baltic Sea. Now, for those who don't know, I got a map here. Baltic Sea.
Oh, I don't know if I would have put that over by Sweden.
Yep, right by Sweden. Now,
good, thank you.
This isn't necessarily where this event is. I did see another map where it's more up here. So I don't know, somewhere in here. Like
we'll chalk it up to Mandela effect, Dan.
There you go. That works.
Yeah. It's in that general vicinity.
So there's a lot of stuff going on in there when you think about shipwrecks, all that good stuff. One of the shipwrecks that they did get, there was this champagne that was over 300 years old. One bottle sold for $43,900.
Of champagne you couldn't drink.
No, you can drink it.
God, no, it'd make you sick because it's preserved down there so much.
And there was another. They had brandy, cognac. How'd you say?
Cognac is how I would pronounce it.
Worth a lot of money.
Yep.
Like we're just talking like one bottle going for thousands and thousands of dollars, and they had like a whole lot.
Yeah, like a whole hull filled with them. Well,
and they were drinking it. There's actually a video you can find, and they're drinking it.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Well, I suppose one. Why not? Oh boy, I don't know. I don't know if
that's the thing. People pay more for that. Well, aged in a bottle.
Yeah, and you're never going to get one like it. It's a limited supply. That's what they like. It's a finite supply. No more will be made. I don't know about that though, man. I would like wait and watch somebody else drink a bottle of it, and if they got up next morning and met me at breakfast, then I'd probably drink some that night, But I wouldn't necessarily just take a swig off of a 300-year-old bottle of anything. I would, but definitely not a 300-year-old butt.
So this ship, this Discovery, 300 feet below the surface, we're going to be talking about where this anomaly, we'll call it the anomaly, is. So they seen this on the radar. They didn't have the proper equipment. They had to come back and do it again when they have everything together. So they put a team together. I got a picture of the team here when they went back out there. So on the left here is Peter in the red. And on the right here, this is Dennis. Those are the two leaders of the Ocean X. The rest of the team is kind of just put together. This
contracted out or whatever, if you will.
Yeah, and then this is the captain.
And then there's, high
diver.
High vis Steve over there.
And there's actually a documentary of all this. I mean, it's going to be in the description. You can watch it. It was like 45 minutes or whatever. This whole team's there. They're doing their thing. They had to go through a lot of stuff, bad weather, so they had to wait it out. And when you talk about the cost of all this stuff, they had a budget around $130,000, and it was going to cost them $21,500 per day. So then they had less than a week to do this.
Yeah.
So right there off the bat, it's like, oh,
why would it cost that much a day?
Well, when you think about wages, the boat rental, the gas, you're getting divers, the equipment. It just adds up like a son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, you're flying people out there, I suppose, and stuff, but. It's funny. Looking at this picture, I'm going to guess that I can identify the captain and the first mate in this picture. I can identify, some of the hired folks. They're wearing nice, cool gear. All like, high and tight. And then there's Pete over on the left, showing up in his red polo shirt, unzipped. Hanging out, hands in his pocket. Hey guys, what's up?
Pretty good, huh?
We gonna go do this? That's how I envision that picture. So Pete, I'm sorry. I actually kind of like you. We share the same name, so you're an all right guy already.
And he's pretty in charge of most of all this, with the safety. The one point when they go down to dive, it was foggy, so the issues, do we let them dive or not? Because then you get into safety issues.
Oh, yep.
It was just a lot of stuff that they were getting hit with.
Dennis looks like Patrick Swayze, a 40s Patrick Swayze.
Okay, here's the sonar image.
Yep. Boy, interesting because when I look at this, you think about, straight lines in nature, curves in nature,
yes.
And it's very rare that they exist. Not that it can't happen. Could be just some limestone. But what's so weird about this, you got a little bit of everything. You got that nice arc on the right side. You've got some very long straight lines, a couple rectangular cutouts, if you will. That's an anomaly for sure.
And there's actually, it's hard to describe to people listening on the podcast, but here's a side-by-side with the Millennium Falcon. Very, very close to being the same thing.
Yeah, it's sure.
You got the part.
You got the...
What is this, the gunner
Yeah,
thing?
The gunner pod or whatever you want to call it. And then, it's...
I mean, the back's less rounded, but...
Yeah, there's a little...
It definitely has that fork front.
Yeah, and that's what really makes it Millennium Falcon-esque. What's interesting about this too, you'd think if it was naturally occurring, they would find similar but different features around it. And I never, I didn't research the topic for this episode, but I remember years ago coming across this. And, the first thing I would do is I'd back out and I would look. And if there's all this like entire field of weird rock formations like this, I think I would say, okay, something's going on. But there isn't. It's just this Millennium Falcon like it's not an outcropping. It's just this thing just on the bottom of the floor, a protrusion from the bottom of the ocean floor. It's only 300 feet too. That's not that.
Yeah, so 300 feet down. So this object
Not that
itself
deep.
is about 180 feet in diameter.
Okay, so 2/3 of a football field about.
And
That's
then-
pretty big.
Yeah, so that was like the sonar image here, but if they do a more detailed one, I got some kind of a CGI one that can bring out a little more detail for it. Take it or leave it if this was actually how it ends up, folks. But it looks like there's a staircase here on the right, and then also a rounded hole enriched
Oh
by
my
a square
gosh.
frame.
That's the enhanced version.
Yeah.
Can you go back to the original?
So is there a staircase? Like you can't really see it on the sonar one?
Not on the first one, yeah. But boy, that second one is way more detailed. And the ground looks a lot rougher too. And what it is it's a more precise imaging. That second one, Dan, is just out of this world. Look at that. Wow, I don't know if I've ever seen one that detailed. That is crazy. I wonder if that's more of some sort of altar or something back when the ocean wasn't covering
That's a
that.
good point.
300 feet is not that
Yeah,
much.
that'll lead into the theories. Because there's a lot of different theories.
Because to me, the enhanced one definitely looks more rock-like. I almost can see like a crack and stuff, but
this is kind of a hard dive to do. So you're going on 300 feet. They had to have special tanks. So you got to have oxygen, nitrogen, and helium. They didn't have a recompression chamber. If you don't know, you got all that pressure of the ocean on you when you go to that depth. And when you come back up too fast, your body can't adapt. And then you'll have health issues and die. So to think about that, their ascent back up, they'd have to take 90 minutes. So they got to come up a little bit, just stay at that level, adjust a little bit, then come up again, and just keep doing that until they come back to the surface, just because of, how crazy of a depth that is. They actually only had 10 minutes to explore this object when they went down. Time you dive down, do your 10 minutes, and come back up. You got enough air to come back up for the 90 minutes. So when they went down there, they said they could only see a meter in front of them because it's so black and dark. They said it looked like concrete or cement. And when they touched it, it turned black, looked like it had been burned. I'll bring up this image here. This kind of has a nice breakdown of the stairs here on the side, of course,
Yeah.
the depth, the thickness of the object they're saying is 4 meters.
12 feet, about 12.3 feet, 4 feet, something like that. A little over 12 feet.
And yeah, now this is the one that the location shows it up farther here. So
Yeah, that one's a little tough to see. Yeah, it does.
after they did that, when they went back home, they had other images to look at. This is really interesting right here. This is like a skid mark thing.
Oh,
Looking like it's almost like a crash. Like there's a mound here that's divided in half, and then there's a tail, and the object is actually like right here.
Okay, that's where the object is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So could it be an asteroid-like thing, comet, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, it could be, right? Boy, if that's the case, that is peculiar as well. That would indicate that, yeah, that it came in
And also, if you really pay attention up here,
there's like
there's
something.
another one that like broke off.
Yeah, you
and
can
came.
see the trail dragging that way.
So that's something like, okay, maybe.
So could it have, okay, so here's something for you, Dan. Maybe the ocean was not covered water at the time. Some object from space came down and crashed there. The people at the time, not understanding things as we do today, decided that must have been like some sort of gift from the gods or like things like that. So then this big hunk of rock that skidded there with no water because the ocean wasn't there yet, they then carved and chiseled into this monument that we see today. Maybe it's a combination.
That's a good point.
I don't know. I just said that one's completely.
Yeah, there's a lot of theories.
Yeah, that's completely just off the cuff right now. And I'd like to interject here too that the full size model of the Millennium Falcon that was used in the Star Wars movies only measured 60 feet in diameter, so this is about 3 times bigger.
Oh, really?
Than the actual Millennium Falcon,
wow.
as depicted or whatever.
So we are going to watch a video later on about where they grab some samples. We can just take a glance at it, but this is one of the samples here.
It's rock, right?
Yeah. So, okay. They had it tested by Volker Bruckhardt.
It looks like there's some iron in it.
So he was an associate professor of geology at the Stockholm University. And he says, in quote, "I was surprised when I researched the material. I found a great black stone that could be a volcanic rock. My hypothesis is that this structure was formed during the Ice Age many thousands of years ago." And he says it could be a glacial deposit.
Ooh, glaciers in the... Well, it's north enough, It's far enough north that glaciers probably came through. I'm sure they did, yeah.
So that was the testing. Okay, it's glacial rock, nothing out of the ordinary. That's the samples they took, folks. But Bruckhardt said that it wouldn't be that. Maybe there's something underneath there. Now, the Ocean X team would have to get like a core drill, and of course it's going to cost millions of dollars to get down there and get a good core sample.
Yeah, right.
Long story short, the news took off with this being the volcanic rock. Every site's going, it's debunked. So nobody wants to fund a $1 million.
Yeah, when they
thing.
Yeah, we look into it and everybody says it's fake.
So that kind of
maybe
put a stop
Gwyneth
to
Paltrow
it.
would be interested.
Oh, there you go.
I said the same thing on Joe Rogan's show.
Oh, did you?
So of course, Peter and Dennis were disappointed that this news ran with this story. Can't get funding. It's like, what do we do? Interesting thing, they even had death threats. Regular people could do that, but couldn't the government disguise himself as a regular person and do that?
Yeah.
So that's something to think about. If this is a crashed UFO,
the government would disguise themselves as a regular person and do that. Absolutely, they would.
So it's interesting.
So you know what though? Why hasn't a show like Discovery Channel picked them up? They
did. That was the.
That was the show. Oh, I missed that. I apologize.
Hey, let me. I'm not going to play it here, folks, but let me look at the documentary. So this was. I'm not seeing what it was like a Discovery Channel thing though. Maybe it wasn't filmed.
Yeah, but even today with how much money are they spending digging on Oak Island, and they got a TV show about that,
That's the other thing, is there something here?
There's something there.
When you really think about it. At the end of this video, and it said the date was 2013, they threw it in here at the end, the credits. The Swedish Naval Command took interest, and they were actually sitting down with Navy guys and stuff.
Over that and not letting people in now. So now you got all that bureaucratic red tape to get through if you want to get back out there.
Well, that's the Ocean X team, Peter and Dennis were talking with them and sitting down with the Navy. And I searched all over because that was a long time ago. It's like, what more is the Navy doing about it? I can't find anything.
If they found anything at all, they wouldn't say anything. If they didn't find anything at all, they wouldn't say anything either.
You'd think you'd get an update from Peter or Dennis saying, they...
How do we get... There was like some information about donations. Actually, we should send them an email.
Ocean X does have a website, so I suppose, you could email them.
Yeah.
But on the surface, there was nothing, any updates about that.
We should try to get them on the show.
Let's get into the hypothesis. So we talked about a lot... Well, you were speculating on a lot about what this could be.
Oh yeah, just making stuff up as it go along. But
so it's another hypothesis is that this could be a German underwater structure to scramble communications and disrupt enemy mines.
There we go, man.
From back in the war days.
Yeah, war days because it's old stuff.
Yep.
Another one is that it could be a crash site for a Nazi UFO. We know that they were reverse engineering those craft. Yeah,
Operation Northwoods, and right?
One that you alluded to that is very plausible is a sunken city as it was lost to waves.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about stone like that.
Lake Titicaca, that's a good one where, it's an inland lake that's got structures on the bottom of this deep lake and stuff. So ocean levels changed a lot. And we know off the coast of many countries, they're finding old ruins and stuff like that.
So here was another CGI picture just from a different angle. I mean, nothing as spectacular as the other ones.
Yeah, and that looks like it's enhanced a little bit. What's interesting, it looks like it belly slid in and you can see the materials pushed up as it came in. I'm trying to think of the geology behind it because, in that part of the world, there were a lot of glaciers. That's how the fjords were formed. And I'm thinking in the Baltic Sea, would it have been dry at some point? Because, if you've got the glaciers here, you've got the ice on it.
I think a lot of places around the Earth were...
we're talking millions of years.
You're talking about pole shifts. I mean, anything's possible. You go back to Atlantis and all that stuff. same
Right.
stuff.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Maybe it sunk. Maybe it's some geological event happened and then it dropped. Yeah.
This is the Baltic Sea anomaly. This was one of the ROV footage. Their vehicle with a claw on it so they could pick up samples. This was filmed back in 2012. So we're going to see what they're kind of up against here. Again, for those listening, it's pretty turbid water, I guess is probably the good way to put it. You can't really see much. Again, you're talking about like 1 meter in front of you. You got, well, these look like, they just look like rocks. Can't see much.
No.
And of course, trying to even grab.
Oh yeah, because there's
samples
currents
even.
and stuff under there. You look at how quick that water or that sand just
Yeah.
moves away.
Well, let's keep in mind that there are 4, I think it's 4 of those fan things on that
Yep.
ROVs, so that's probably blowing it away as well. But even just to grab a simple sample like that, which they do, and then they'll put it in the basket, of course, just like so. So backing up, we'll try to. There's not much to see here. I mean, I've skimmed through a lot of it. This is a 37-minute video. You could sit and watch the whole thing, but there's really not much to see here.
Just them cruising around underwater.
And it does like. So if this is it right here, which
Oh,
we're
look at how
pursuing.
smooth that is.
But still, if you talk about glacials, I mean that's no different than
I've seen some pretty smooth rocks
that's like-
too, but still, that's.
Arizona. They got the sides cut out like that, like the rocks.
I'm looking for some chisel marks on that as they go by.
But
But where are the other rock structures like that around that area? That's the thing. It's an anomaly in the sense it's just out there. Where did it come from? How did it get there? I mean, I guess that's what we're talking about.
well, yeah, that's what makes it an anomaly, right?
Yeah, sure.
But I don't see any stairs in this.
That one, like, really good scan that you showed was super impressive. Boy, see, it's rock to me. It's definitely not.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. It looks like rock.
Yeah,
if it was a spaceship, you'd expect some kind of a metallic.
Yeah, you would sure think so. I mean, and that's not like algae growing on it. So it does look like rock to me.
So I think the sunken city is definitely more.
Yeah,
plausible.
and maybe whatever this piece is did crash in from Earth, or from space. But
that's the other thing. You got to tie in that tail.
Yeah, an
anomaly.
object that big though would leave a huge crater unless it just came in just right. Right, it would have to have lost a lot of velocity in the atmosphere and come in literally as a belly flop, or not a belly flop, but as skimming, a skip almost. Maybe it started skipping back by India and ended up there or something. That's interesting, Dan. I would like somebody to fund these guys to go back out there, and maybe, Dan, we, instead of going to Argentina and trying to catch a 3-eyed fish like we talked about last time, maybe we go out here, get ourselves a fishing boat and some diving gear and try to get down and take a look at this for the show.
You're totally right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We'll do that right away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for today. It is what it is. I'm leaning.
Thank you,
towards-
Anita. That was awesome.
For sure. Definitely worth a look. I mean, when going back to the first picture again of the anomaly, it's not. I mean,
It resembles
It
the
resembles.
Millennium Falcon. I mean, there's no way around it that you couldn't say it doesn't resemble it, but
why not be a chiseled out old civilization?
Yep. And
thing.
everybody knows that the
Monument.
Millennium Falcon was in a galaxy far, far away a long time ago. There's no way it would be in that good.
What a
good
better way to
condition.
disguise it. Like if the Hollywood again got told that these were ships, cover it, throw it in the freaking
in Star Wars,
yeah.
and off we go.
Yeah. All right. Later, boys.
Thanks for listening. Visit k2d4network.com today.